On today's episode of the vlog, James plays with the TV. It's now time for the TV's Betty buys. Disappears under the cabinet. Yeah, it's actually recording. You could probably come up a bit further. We do more of a.
Yeah, I see.
Or we could just like
chilling here.
get a full length video, or we can set it up somewhere else.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's probably fine. As long as you guys can hear us and the aircon isn't too loud, we'll just kind of lounge like this. I think this is a new clothes for us. Usually we're lying forward or sitting up, but we thought we'd mix it up on day 21 because we've now hit 2,000 miles, 2,100 actually, 2,130, 25, one of the two, quite far along now. And we also hit £3,000 today for Crisis, Race Crisis, which is amazing. And thanks to everyone who's donated.
Yeah.
We hit that.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. We were on our final race of the day, had still had 30 miles to go, and we got the news through, and yeah, set us off buzzing for the rest of the day. It's so hard, such an incredible moment.
I think we'll do a video when we're in Chicago on our rest day, thanking everybody who's donated. It means a lot to us.
Yeah.
And it helps us get along the road.
Literally, because there are 80 of you have donated so far, and just each and every one of those donations means so much. There's a guy here today in church who gave us
$2.
Yeah, which is so uplifting, just like that generosity. Literally what he had in his wallet. And yeah, so anyway, in a really cool stream today, which is really cool. It's like a time capsule. That's what it looks like. It's like from the outside.
Time capsule. Oh, I see. Yeah, a very big time
But
capsule.
inside, it's kind of like a big silver.
I think most people know what an SUV is. I think it's just
I think it's just me.
Yeah.
But all the rest of you don't know and are on my wavelength. That's what it is. And what do we? Oh yeah, so we'll take you back to where we left you. I feel like it's too far away. I feel like it's
Thanks, man. Let's go.
Let's go. If you can't hear us, I'll type up some subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Just
Now
a
you
bit.
can definitely hear us. Yeah. So the previous bit, if it was white noise, doesn't really matter. It wasn't very interesting. Actually, no, it was interesting. We hit £3,000. If you didn't hear, we hit £3,000.
But moving on.
But moving on, we just wasted so many minutes of this. We're picking up where we left off, which was Walmart yesterday in Des Moines, West Des Moines. We just come off that lovely trail, seen the tornado. We were hyped up, and our lovely host Richard had just come back from his party, and so we cycled down to his, which was only like a couple of miles away, and so windy outside. Anyway, and we went to his for 7:30, and he had his tent all set up. And so we dropped off our bikes and went to see him, showered. He was there, he greeted us at the door. His dog greeted us as well, Ginny, was really, really excited to see us. And reunited with her long lost brother, Ron. And they bonded instantly, him and Ginny, if you didn't see the Instagram post. And yeah, showered, chilled. What did we...
Laundry. It's pretty usual, get in, say hello, have a shower, put laundry on.
And it's just, yeah. And Rich was amazing. He took us out to downtown Des Moines. I think it's downtown.
Yeah, it was
I kind of ended up just calling the cool parts of
the area.
downtown. And we went down there. There was a baseball game going on. It was a Saturday night. The town was buzzing. And he took us to this really awesome beer bar. But it was like the reason I say that is because it had like hundreds of beer on tap. It was absolutely incredible. There was literally a menu for beers, which was about 5 pages long, and it had was just filled top to bottom with all these different beers. I think it was double columned as well. It was just ridiculous. And so we had a few of those. We got served in the USA, and we're 18, 19, so he made us feel young again. And we had some meatloaf, carb loaded as well, got the pasta and potatoes on board.
Yeah.
A really, really lovely evening, really good company. and yeah, it's just a lot of fun to be part of that nightlife because it's we obviously cycling every day, so and don't haven't really had a weekend off, but we yeah, we ended up going back home and going back to his house, we should say, and had another beer with him, just chilled, talked him through our route, which was quite a lot of fun. He had projected it onto the Apple TV, and we had a run through of each day, like the highs and the lows of what we've been through. So, and that was a lot of fun, but ended up being quite a late night. Ended up only getting to bed for about probably 12 by that point. By the time we wound down and got into the tent. Really good night's sleep though, and woke up for around 6 because we had a big day ahead of us. It was potentially up to 135 miles. And yeah, woke up, had some cereal, got
and eggs.
And eggs. Oh, the omelette was delicious, and it was cheesy and yeah, perfect. And yeah, and Richard really kindly rode out with us, which was a lot of fun because just getting out of the city, especially from the West Des Moines, out to set us on the right track was so helpful. And yeah, thank you, Richard, for riding out with us. And yeah, he then left us after the trail, and we we then decided to, well, James was adamant that we'd hop onto the Interstate 80.
So we've been told that you can't go on Interstate 80
in Iowa.
But we've been told this before about other states, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And it was about 20 miles less, and it's always flat on the interstates.
20 miles less than the bike route, we should clarify. Yeah.
And so we decided to do that, which was fine. First 30 miles flew by.
Yeah, and because it's all flattened out for the cars. Yeah. So the gradient's really gradual, and there's not a lot of it. Yeah, had our first break in somewhere.
Some small place.
Yeah, irrelevant.
Feeling good. Yeah. Averaging about 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. And then we carried on, got on the interstate, we're climbing this hill, just like in the middle of nowhere in interstate terms, and we heard a siren go off behind us, looked behind, and it was the police had come after us. We'd been caught, brought us down, and it was, yeah, he took his time. He was chilling in his car, like radioed in, got his hat on, got his badge out, and like came out all official looking out of his car, and we was true.
Yeah.
And they and yeah. And he came out and said, what are you guys doing on here, basically? And we were like, we then played the British tourist card. We were like, oh, you're not allowed on this road. Oh no, we're so sorry, blah blah blah. The inter what's the, oh really? Okay, so we're allowed on the highways, and yeah, it was all cool, and gave him our passports. We were kind of thinking afterwards, oh, could we have filmed it or whatever? But looking back, because he pulled up behind us, and we don't think that would have helped the situation, because yeah, don't really know what we were expecting to happen.
I thought I was pretty chilled for that.
Yeah,
I almost enjoyed it. It was an
experience. It was quite fun, and it was kind of like, I feel like it's bound to happen at some stage with the interstates we were doing, and it was yeah, and we kind of rode away with big grins on our faces. But then he came by and we kind of pretended to look really solemn, and he said, so, yeah, well, it's a surefire way to get yourself killed, sort of thing. He said, like, right, just get off at the next exit, I'll ride with you for a bit, or drive along. And so we did, and we ended up having to take the cycling route, which was about, at this stage, having come this far on the Interstate 80, it was added about 10 miles to the trip. So instead of 120 miles, it was 130. But the thing is that what that doesn't account for, like we say about all this mileage, which is all fine, but it doesn't account for the elevation, which today was about 4,000,
just over
up and down.
4,100,
yeah, which is like, it's crazy because the gradient is so much steeper and it's continuous. Like instead of the interstate where you get like 3 miles maybe uphill, 3 miles downhill, 3 miles flat, and it will be like within a few % gradient. This is like up and down every like few hundred feet, and yeah, but luckily the wind today was pretty much non-existent. If anything, a slight tailwind. So we were going at quite a pace, clipped along, got into a town called Marengo or something.
Yeah.
it was Saturday, yeah. About halfway along, so we'd done about 63 miles, had about 67 to go, and stopped off at Subway, loaf of ham and bread, loaf of loaf of bread and some ham. And there were a load of kids in there and their fathers who would come from like baseball games, which was kind of fun because it was a Sunday, so obviously Little League baseball was going on. And yeah, so spent half an hour there. And at this stage, it was only 11:30 when we stopped. And no, yeah, about 11:15. Yeah, and so we had about 40 minutes there. And it wasn't even 12, and we had already done 63 miles. So we were really chuffed because we wanted to get in time to shower and have time to go to church and everything. And so we, set off pretty sharp after that. Carried on going just along this Highway 6 the whole way, and went another 37 miles actually. We put in quite a shift, and ended up in another irrelevant town at a gas station. Classic, just refilled water. I can remember the name.
No.
Probably not. And that was where we found out that we'd hit £3,000, which was awesome. You got the text through. And yeah, when we like checked, it was like, oh, it's amazing. Let everyone know on Instagram, and really exciting stuff. And so we were like, right, let's hit the road again. And we were feeling. How are we feeling today? All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was like because we'd had 2 slightly shorter days, so we just about recovered from the 300 miles in 2 days, and so we were feeling all right for today. Like, obviously, never easy as usual, but in relative terms, it was fairly straightforward. And yeah, carried on going until stopped off at a Walmart in Carrollville or something, in a town just 7 miles outside of Iowa City where we're staying tonight. And again, loaf of bread, ham, cereal bars, and hop back on the bikes and into Iowa City. And for the day overall, we were talking about, so where I was talking about yesterday, how like the palm of my hand is where it's kind of tender, and James, because that's where I always rest, and then James kind of like when he is in a relaxed stance on the bike, leaning on the knuckles. So that's what's hurting for you.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Is that?
And also both of us, because it's obviously all the pressure and having no suspension whatsoever as well. All the pressure is on our wrists, in our hands, like, and that's what the kind of initial impact in the joint before it comes up through our shoulders. So that's kind of what's suffering as well. So every time we kind of go to get a snack or whatever, you can feel the pain there. So just if you're wondering where the pressure points were, that's where they are. And yeah, anyway, got into. Oh, and also we were sweating buckets today. Like today, it was the first time I was dripping with sweat, and it's because of the heat and the humidity is just picking up day by day. And tomorrow we're going to go across the Mississippi River on the Iowa-Illinois border, and it actually is the Mississippi River this time. So we're really excited for that. And we're going to cross it at Clinton, so if you're on Instagram, it will probably be a bit later, probably be about 10ish your time that we'll cross it, hopefully, if we're on track. And yeah, got into Iowa City. Peter was out somewhere on a ride.
Just on 2 days running, yeah.
Yeah. So he's just been away riding, which was pretty cool. And we got in, showered, and stretched and all of that. And then he came in and said hi just as we were coming out the door on our way to Mass. And and so it was kind of like, oh, hi, bye. But he seemed really cool, was all like in his Lycra and just put his really, really nice Specialized bike away, which actually had the same saddle as James's, which was kind of cool. And we then headed out. It was my first time ever at a Catholic Mass, and it was pretty calm. And we heard as well, so we cycled there, which is really difficult in these sliders, I don't know if you can see. And also, we then appreciated so much more the bib shorts that we have, because it's so painful riding on those like hard racing saddles with no like. I'm in this really, really thin tracksuit, James's as well, and yeah, that was rough because it was so potholed. But it was a lovely city, We went downtown again. A real like student vibe because there's this college here or university, and yeah, so it was nice. And we heard as well there was overheard mentions of a tornado.
Yeah, there's a tornado going through. You can wind outside now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll have passed by tomorrow.
Really big gusts like blowing about the place, and it's coming in from the east. So hopefully it'll pass tomorrow. Might run into it, which would be a bit scary, but yeah, already been through one and survived, so we'll take our chances. And yeah, then we came back, and everyone was home. There was Hannah, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hannah. It was quite a quiet hello. But anyway, oh God, so frustrating. I'll double check tomorrow morning. And also Riley.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was Peter's son.
I'm not sure actually.
We're gonna have to double check on that one. But don't take our word for it. But there was so Peter and Hannah. Oh no. This is so bad.
A lovely couple.
Lovely couple. And yeah, they're a couple. They're really sweet. Moved in together. They've been together for about a year. Amazing cooks as well. Did the grilled fish. And they did some grilled fish in grape leaves. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was anyway, tasted delicious. And this amazing rice with it as well, and a load of veg, which as always ate up as much as we could. Riley was cool. He was 22 and a student, and yeah, and this is so frustrating.
What?
I'm just gonna go with Hannah. I'll correct it in tomorrow's.
I can tell you, Hannah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be wrong now. Anyway, it's from actually spent a bit of time in Chicago. She was telling us about the good place we should visit there, and the deep base pizza, which we're really eager to try, which has apparently like an inch of cheese on it, which I don't think she was so much of a fan of. But yeah, she'd also come back from a day's riding. She'd done her first 100 miles, which was pretty cool.
That was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, she's working today.
Yeah, she's working today. She's a massage therapist and a yoga instructor. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So she showed us some stretches, let us use the roller as well to get properly rolled out and stretched. And yeah, then just had a really, really nice evening. Peace was into football, like the proper English football, so that was fun to have a chat about. And yeah,
Hannah.
It is Hannah.
Yeah.
Yes, come on, Hannah. I knew it all along, never in doubt. And yeah, really lovely evening, really chilled out, just what we needed. Some ice cream with blackberries as well to end, and clothes in the dry even. And we're all good, all raring to go for another 110 miles tomorrow. Which will get the total up to 2,200 and something, and then we'll be 1 day away from Chicago, so 2 rides away from Chicago, which we're so excited about. Finally, time to rest and sleep in, because I was yawning on the bike today because I only got 6 hours sleep. And we got, what time did we get in? About
today?
Yeah, 5 probably.
Yeah.
So 7:20 till about 5, so just under 10 hours to do about 130 miles, which isn't bad going. That's pretty quick, and that's door to door as well, and yeah, so we're in a good place, ready to go to sleep though, in this awesome airstream, which apparently everyone knows what it is, and that's about all there is to it. We'll update you on tomorrow when we'll cross the Mississippi, and hopefully no more encounters with the cops.